now, I look at and I'm like, I don't like it. I'm like, I don't know why everyone complains. That's me personally. Ancient, it's up first. It's a banger. We all know how it is. Peak FE versus the Killers starting over on map 1. Both teams have previously picked into this map. It's known ground for both of them. They are both 0 and 2 in the standings. Who will be claiming their first victory today?
Peak FE have the chance here to kick off on the T side. And it looks like it's going to be a full B hit for the moment. Get that little bit of util out. Nice and early. Great first shot from Dynasty. Follows it up with a second and just runs straight onto the site. The Killers, they are the killed.
They've kind of been owned there very early on, and my prediction, not so great, but the Even Stevens storyline we were talking about, that's already Peak breaking the molds. They're winning out on the first pistol round. I think, if I'm not wrong, they both actually had horrific CT pistol round stats, so I guess maybe this is somewhat the norm that we're going to be seeing T-side pistol rounds, but a very good start there for Peak in just a very simplistic way.
I will say, in terms of our track record of predictions, I'm still ahead.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, buddy.
I'm also ahead versus Bardolph, so like I'm killing it this year.
I think I troll way too much for predictions. I really like go with the complete, like, if this happens, I'm a genius. And I think there was especially in like the Rio close qualifiers where I was talking Bay up like so much, and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be, it's their time to shine. I think they got like 13-2, 13-6. I was like, never mind. So it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh well, this round somewhat doesn't matter.
2 kills though is actually, like, on the face of it, not awful.
If they can recover guns, even better. They have managed to pick up one of those Galils and a little bit of extra damage as well on top of that. Dynasty! She's been fantastic so far. Only 2 rounds in, but 6 kills under her belt. That's great work from her. I mean, that round goes as expected, but at least there's a bit of that damage done, so it forces Peak FE to have to reinvest.
3 kills on an anti-eco, or rather on an eco, is best case scenario. Not allowing for the Mac 10s to farm up. It's more money if you get a kill with Mac 10. They didn't allow that. So currently the Killers, they're 2 rounds down, but they definitely can find success in what they've already produced. Towards middle, just really not a great start. Juliana, both her and Bruna Killer kind of chunk 2 grenades, and they will fall because of that. However, Flystyle very aggressively does just swing out and actually bring it back to Even Stevens.
Haha. Oh, nice there. 11 getting that second kill opens up this entire map for them. Interestingly, the Killers not willing to move off of this position. They know that there's still a bit of presence here, so there you go. Now they start to move. They realize it's very likely that bomb's going to move, and as they do so, instantly one will trade out. They've all just passed each other like ships in the night. The spacing has been so crazy. And now Bomb has to somehow make its way back. Carrot Banana has to hold the line, but can't make it happen. And Dynasty has to go huge again.
She's done it in the pistol, and she might be doing it again. Just about gets around the corner. 5 HP, and is waiting. Not going straight to the bomb site, but unfortunately 5 HP won't be enough. And the Killers win out their first round by the skin of their teeth.
And that mid round was a little messy. It felt like...
That's one word for it.
It felt like both teams realized they were kind of losing control in the map, and so everyone just kind of starts to fan out, and as that's happening, you've got bodies dropping all over the place. It didn't feel like there was much cohesion, and ultimately it was the Killers who came out on top of it. I think that Dynasty very nearly has a chance there, but unfortunately it's snatched away.
Yeah, Flystyle just gets away with murder with 3 very individual kills, but Song as well, you see towards middle, they got hit quite heavily by the nades, just the really standard default nades. I was skimming through their ancient demos, and that was also a theme. Like, they kind of kept on. I think there was multiple rounds where they died to grenades in mid as a seed side, which is really quite poor. And hopefully it doesn't stay as a theme, because that's going to massively favor Peak. However, on this low buy round, they're already positioning towards the B bomb site. Utility's going to get down, and they're going to get the opening kill. Out through cave they come. They get the bomb site, but unfortunately don't clear long.
Oh, now it's all down to Valulu. She does get the bomb plant. So a bit of extra money into the next, and she'll be quite happy with that. But not much more doing, unfortunately. I think that they actually play that quite well, the killers. They give up a little bit of that space. So they take aggressive space early on. They get a few kills, and they just pull off. And they allow Peak to get in onto the site. They know they have numbers advantage. They know they have weapons advantage. They don't need to get up close and personal where they're more likely to be at a disadvantage, especially versus things like Tech 9s. So they give that little bit of distance and then they retake. And Peak FE just can't hold on. Very quickly, this is turned back into an even scoreline.
Yeah, it's like the prime example is Anubis A site where if they're coming from mid, you go towards A main. That's kind of exactly what killers did. They knew they were being crunched from cave, so they were like, okay, right, let's take the other primary zone. Let's kill them as they're throwing utility, and it works out perfectly. Also does help that I think Hera got a 3K, so very nice. But PKFE, their first time now going towards the A bomb side, setting up utility. They're gonna have to get past Selix though.
Oh, first casualties to come through. A great flash with perfect follow-up from Juliana. Little bit of trade damage, however. One more? Nah, not to be the case. Not the worst. You would have liked to have gotten the bomb down, but I think that goes more or less to be expected.
Yeah, very good start by the killers. And we're going to see Selets get the AWP out. So I did notice as well, she was very versatile. Either seeing her start towards mid, A, or will be moving around on the early game, depending on where potentially there is the issue. And currently, not going to lie, on the rifles, it's been pretty clean. And PKFE, they're going to be starting out with a default towards this B bomb site. Where's the AWP? Where is Selec? She's over towards long, and very good early util damage by the killers. Kind of standard util, and they get a good 75 off 2 players in total.
I'll be real, I didn't think that hit, but color me incorrect. The first kill to come through. Bruno will get the second, giving them the numbers advantage here. Flystyle duking it out in Jaguar. She wins that battle. How much can Dynasty get done? She's so aware, but now the bomb is lost. The last 2 players from Peak FE are so separated. This seems almost unrecoverable.
Maybe they hit some bangers. You never know. Valulu, first up's the plate. That's the first kill, taken quite cleanly. Alongside that, Dynasty gets one over towards the B bomb side. Both players playing the buddy system in cave. It's going to work out for the first. They know about Dynasty, and the position is now reconfirmed. Bomb can't be picked up. I think it's in that Molotov. Regardless, though, the killers, they're repositioning all the way back round towards the B bomb site. Again, still holding this buddy system, and they're going to have all the information. They know Dynasty's on that B bomb site, and they know she's planting.
Great, Molly. Oh, she gets off the plant. And it didn't... Oh, man, that's terrible. It didn't even land. She gets off the plant. Now she has to duck and dive. She's got nowhere really to run. No time to run either. The first swing to come through, she cleans it up, but it's a great double swing, and Hera recovers the AWP and helps to secure the round.
Yeah, not completely sure why she got off the plant there. As soon as the plant does come off, it basically means the round is over. I think if there was ever a world in where she could clutch up the 1 versus 2, it would be getting that bomb down and praying for exactly what happened. The Molotov missing, which it did. But a really good start here for the killers. That's 2 gun rounds going in their favor. Something I will add, it does just feel like Flystyle is getting so much space towards K very early on. But however, 11, our Kadia player to watch, rocketing out of middle. That's 2 kills early on with the Tech 9.
And that's a couple of weapons recovered as well, but jumping straight in front of the AWP. Selex, absolute hero here. The rest of the killers will regroup, whittle down those last few numbers. And now Dynasty, who was a little bit of a lurk player, once again caught last woman standing. This is a lot more doable. No, actually, maybe not a lot more. It is doable, but they're not checking for her coming through mid. Oh, take the long road. Take the long road. Atta girl. She made a step. No! Oh, that's sad. There was a world. I saw the vision.
Yeah, I think Flystyle spotted the shadow just as she was coming around the corner. That would make the most sense of why she was so acutely looking for the donut wrap. But 11 hasn't had loads of impact yet in this game, and that's the first round where we finally see it portrayed. But unfortunately, a mixture of the AWPs connecting and very quick rotations, the Killers shut down yet another round. They are 5-0 on their opponent's map pick, and it's actually going to force Peak to take a tactical timeout.
Well, if you've got them, use them. They're for free. So try to stem that momentum if you can. Momentum pauses can really do a world of good. And with the way that these last 5 consecutive rounds have gone, need to change up how we're approaching this. It really does feel like util usage could be a little bit cleaner. We had some good moments, but like, for example, you know, rushing out straight into the waiting arms of the Killers and not really isolating enough areas, making it a little bit more difficult for them, shutting down those sight lines. Need to have a little bit more of that.
Well, they found success in middle. They might try to go for that fight again, but with a wrap through heaven. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to be attempted. But I think attempted is kind of the operative word. They do actually get out. And Lulu 4K just gets a free kill on the B bomb site. Being given a lot of space there by her team to work that part of the map. And she's going to be rewarded with a kill. And now the Killers, this is actually the first time we've seen them in a proper 4 versus 5 situation. How do they react?
And this is a great opportunity for them because obviously, you know, as the CTs, you have to try and gap fill now when you're player down. They throw a molly over towards A, trying to fake out, pull a rotation if possible. Ooh. Oh, the aggressive push into B main for the potential wraparound does not work. And so we will lose Hera, but now the AWP is left in no man's land. Able to get one, but instantly traded out. And now the B bomb site is free and clear. It's 4 versus 2. There's still some utility that's still up and in play, giving them just a moment more time to get that bomb planted and set themselves into a good post.
And the post won't even need to be initiated. The Killers, they've won 5 rounds in a row, sure, but especially that last round, only 2 players survived. I think same with the previous. They've actually been struggling to get these really clean rounds where 4 or 5 are alive. And so because of that, Peak are going to force both Bruna and Juliana to save. And even then, with that save, in the next round, they're not going to have the greatest of funds. And speaking about that, it's mandatory that both these players do survive. They're not really playing a complete crossfire. If, say, 11 did wander in and go for a duel, she actually probably would have been able to isolate maybe Bruna. But instead, it's not going to be the case. Both players do save. 2 M4s. They're going to get somewhat of a purchase around it with 1,400 lost. But this is a really big round for Peak to be getting just to mediate that danger of letting the opposition run away.
Some clean shots over towards that B site. The Killer's not down and out just yet. They are a little bit on a knife's edge for cash. So this round is going to be an important one to win if they want to kind of reset and regain that control. For PKFE, winning this would be massive. 11 goes ahead and opens it up, but she gets traded off along with one of her teammates. And that leaves the T's in a very disadvantageous position. Lulu caught out. Great flash over the top. She has no idea that Flystyle is right there. And now they know for sure there is no presence in B main. It has to be some sort of a pivot towards A. And already the pieces have started to move across the board.
Ooh, not a fan of that. The AWP has just been given an opener. It's been given a freebie. 1 player in Donut shall be reinforced. If these duels go one way, it could be a difference. Kara, the banana, slips up 1. Now has to do the same for 2 more. Will she anticipate a second towards Donut? Yes, she does. It's down to the 1 versus 1. Hera, the MP9 up close, has the advantage, but Kara's on fire, but unfortunately can't get the final. That would have been a 1 versus 3 4K. That would have been amazing. But instead, it's the Killers back to winning ways.
I really wish that she'd picked up a rifle. Trying to one.
I respect the ego. I respect the alpha move.
For real, like she does so well, and there's a world in which she actually does get that last kill. It was phenomenal. But I mean, at this point, especially when you know you're heading into such a close quarters area, it's a tough call to make. But despite not, winning that round, they've still done significant damage to the Killer's economy. So even though they win it, they still can't full buy in. It's a janky pots and pans force. And so Peak actually still in with a chance to turn things back around.
And this is the AWP up close and personal A main. No utility, so she can't even use a Molotov to run away. And Bruna's going to be smoked off. We'll get ahead of that deep donut smoke. Selex has to stand and fight. Misses the first shot. Will be slain. And with that, there goes the A-bomb site. Finally, the 11, Arcadia player to watch. She's had a great double opener towards middle. But this double opener towards A most certainly means the round win.
Had a bit of a slow start to the map, but she's really started to pick up here in the later rounds. Oh, Kara getting caught out just in the open hand, scoped in. So how do Peak hold on to this? All three of them hold up here in Donut. They are still managing to make their shots connect. The Killers just peek them one by one, and if you give them half a chance, they will take full advantage.
Dynasty was also coming in on the flank, so worst comes to worst, she would have been there in prime position to close off any danger there would have been. If there was any bleeding, she would have stemmed it. So the Killers now in a really awkward position. They sure won the previous round, but have no economy to talk about. And realistically, I think going for this retake was futile right from the beginning. Sure, you'd have a kit, but in a player disadvantage, you never realistically had a hope. And with 2 rounds left in the half, they actually have to go for this force buy. They're on double eco. That means if they lose this, it's just going to be another force buy. So Peak FE are probably going to be sailing towards the 6th.
Oh, all right. Dynasty will just continue doing what she does best. With only 2 players left for the Killers, so far removed from one another. Not 2 players, 1 player. Selex trying to keep it close, try to keep it expensive, but not to be. Now we're in the last round of the half, and even if it had been expensive, Peak FE would not have worried. They're still able to get a nice, robust buy through. And looking at the Killers' money, or lack thereof,
oh yeah,
we're looking at a 6-6 half here. 5-round streak for the Killers. I didn't think we were going to end up here.
Yeah, the CT side economy can be a very fickle mistress sometimes, and this is a perfect example of why that is the case. This should be a very easy 6 to be closing out for Peak FE. That's going to give them a lot of momentum. Cara de Banana, she is sailing in this game so far. You can see the conviction surging through her veins, but unfortunately Dynasty does actually fool who was with her, and oh, this is scary now. The MP9s have got the bomb over an elbow. They know about where the AWPer is, and look at Hera trying to get this kill, but unfortunately she's being wrapped around upon. So it should be a 2 versus 2, and especially with Selex on low HP, the round's not over for Peak. Ooh, that's bold.
Lulu, what a swing around. HE through the smoke. Nice. Tucks into the corner, swings out, can't connect the shot. And yes, we do indeed end the half at 6-6.
Hold up, where you going? Looking like that, looking so good. What you trying to do? You trying to get in trouble? Should be a crime. Fighting with the devil. Get out the way. A new dawn, new day. Can't nobody touch this groove. Work hard, get paid. Dress up like a Sunday. Watch me now. I'm making moves. 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 I'm making moves.
Peak, they are getting loud. We could see it in the cams there towards the end. Cara de Banana, she was screaming a little bit, and with good reason. That was, what, 4 rounds out of 5 they won to get themselves into an even scoreline, and now on the City side, this pistol round, can they have that same success in the first half? It's not looking too great because Juliana just knocks 2 down.
Well, T-side pistols. It looks like that's where we're angling. Although they also won. No, they didn't. They lost their first
T-side
pistol.
pistols.
So, yeah, it's all about the T-side pistols. I don't know if Peak are going to be able to retake this one. They're all funneling in from the back. Yeah, we got that first kill to come through, but not too much more to happen. So, T-side pistols.
Hey, that
And
was a pretty cool smoke, though. Yeah, we start like, well, I think it was actually something we said. We were like, okay, I think it was Peak. They got the first pistol round. It was like, oh, just hold your horses because remember, T-side pistols, they're both very good on it and seemingly not very good on C-side pistols. So that theme has continued. But another, unfortunately for Peak though, they had masses of momentum being built up going into the half, and now it's kind of crescendoed away a little bit with that pistol round loss, and especially if they lose the first gun round, pretty much everything they built up towards the latter end of that first half, unfortunately, is going to result in null. But this eco, you know what? It could have some damage.
Well, it definitely has damage so far. But is there follow-up? We've got 1 kill to come through. A couple of players that have been tickled down ever so slightly. A little bit more would be great. I mean, we've gotten into this weird new meta of like lose pistol, win force. It's crazy. But doesn't look like it's going to be the case here as Lulu4K steps out of the shadows and instantly is taken apart. And Lulu, well, she was the last one left. The Galil spray is too strong. And it's a second round on board for the Killers.
As anticipated, so not too much of a shocker just yet. This is a very important pistol round from my perspective, first gunner from my perspective, because the Killers, they looked like they were going to be taking that first half quite dominantly and weren't able to, but could go back to winning ways right now, and I love this. Going straight towards the A bomb site, currently no defenders there. Even worse as well, Valulu's gone over towards B to fortify that part of the map, and they are kind of focusing on shelf for now, so this gives perfect opportunity for the Killers if they go right now, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Even though there is some missed utility, it's still going to be them putting themselves into a 5 versus 5 post plant, which if you've ever done this on the City side, it ain't easy.
Well, enough of the...
That's a lot easier.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's the problem with planting default. You just get sprayed through smokes. However, the second time around, they will actually get that plant down. And a trade to come through from Selex as she goes on a very cheeky mission all the way into their spawn. They have to beware the wrap around. And, well, Hera was ready for it, but 11 was just that little bit quicker on the draw. Now she's known. She can keep some of this attention on her. Maybe she can create some space for her team. Never mind just the attention. She'll get yet another kill. Now the eyes are on her. Her team starts to pull through. The spray down doesn't happen. Juliana, good for one, but traded out. There's no kit. Oh, they picked up a kit.
Oh my god.
Oh my
no,
god,
I don't
there's
think
no
they have
shot.
time. Oh my god, you're kidding me. Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's actually that's what. Oh my god.
Same.
No way. So if anyone's wondering why we are so exacerbated, is because they picked up a kit. A kit was picked up. Both players ran towards it. There would have been enough time. There was like 9 seconds left, I say. Like, you know, just enough time. I don't think they commed who picked it up. So Dynasty had the kit. Sorry, can't remember who the second player was. Dynasty had the kit. However, the other player with her goes and defuses the bomb for, let's say, like a second or two, clocks that she doesn't have the kit, or someone comments her she doesn't have the kit. So then Dynasty gets back on it after, like, it took a few seconds as well to do that. And then when they got on the bomb, there was no time. So even though Peak FE, because of 11's heroics, are able to secure a potential win in that retake, they lose it because of miscommunication on who has a kit.
That is heartbreaking. And honestly,
oh my god,
like that, they took a timeout. As a coach, that's also a fat timeout from me after that, man. Like, that is so rough. Even as a player, you're kicking yourself after that one, and you
can
need
see,
that
yeah,
mental
she
reset.
was.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see if that mental reset makes a difference. Going for some of that aggressive control out towards B again, but 11, she's been a bit of a star so far in the second half, and she's taken off the board very early on. That opens up mid and gives them a lot of opportunities for rotation. So Balulu going to have to be very careful here. The molly to come through, but already slipped past. Flystyle spots her out and is going to try to, no, not flush her out. Just give a little bit more space for Juliana to make the wraparound. Oh, Dynasty wins that out, though, with that deagle. 3 versus 3, and this is still doable, if difficult. We've got a good potential pincer here. The flash, dodged. The MP9 sings, gets the first, traded out. Oh, a second cannot come through, and Dynasty with just a deagle. She's already done so much on this map so far, but a 1 versus 2, and once again, no kit available. She's just going to have to do as much as she can, maybe a little bit of damage, but that's all she wrote for the round.
Yeah, caught on a weird timing as well. I'm not gonna lie, that terrified me with how they played Donut there. You had a Molotov, you had 2 smokes and flashbangs, and instead of just smoking or mollowing off the entrance of Donut, they chose to fight it in that 3 versus 3, and it kind of scared me because, look, if they'd lost those duels, you lose the round. So yeah, it's these duels right here where they could have utilized their utility, and they do ultimately get quite lucky that Hera does trade out and win out on the second duel as well. So Peak FE in a really uncomfortable position where this gun round could be their final gun round if they do lose out. There's going to be some mid control being taken early on. However, Lulu 4K dies in cave, a very pivotal position for the CT side to control, and they're not only going to lose it, but lose the player advantage.
And 11's in such a dangerous spot here as well. Gets the first, but she has no idea. And Selex knows exactly where she is, so very quick to trade off on that. Needed her to have been able to get a little bit more, or to at the very least slip away. Now Peak FE are so thinly spread across the map. They have absolutely no information towards mid. There is a bit of a rotation coming through here. There's a suspicion that there could still be a lean over towards B, but there you go. A little bit of util. The killers taking full advantage of the fact that Peak FE don't have info. So Kara's going to try to re-clear mid here and doesn't manage to spot out anything. So is that the call? Is that the realization that it is the B lean. Last two players have not moved from these spots, so there is an inkling.
I wouldn't mind just a gamble stack as well, even for Kara, just to make her way over towards B. But that's for Lulu. Getting the opening kill. Low HP player down. Flashbang is good. It somewhat does just isolate Dynasty. However, will they anticipate her? I don't think they will. However, she's all by herself now. 1 versus 3, given the space to isolate these duels. But Selix will return things back to normality. And she is having a phenomenal game, not only on the York, but also the rifle.
I mean, she really has been such a key player for the Killers in so many of these rounds. It's great to see, you know, this is kind of what we talked about, you know, rediscovering talent and you know, letting them shine and have the opportunity to show what they're really capable of. It's good to see her having her moment in the sun here and really feeling herself. But potentially we only have 2 rounds left. Oh, okay. There's a heavy lean towards mid to B with a bit of a retake A angle. But Valulu has already found herself in position here and ready. Swings out, but Hera will take her head clean off, alone with no support. How much more could realistically be done? The spray doesn't actually connect onto the planter, so the bomb does get planted. 2 players left alive. Dynasty's been spotted out. Nope. It's an absolute firing range. And to be fair, given what Peak FE went into that round with, it's completely unsurprising.
Yeah, very, very messy round, and I think that's actually a great call from the Killers. The reason why I think that's the case is because PKFE have been putting a lot of lenience towards both middle and taking control towards shelf. I think realizing that they might not have a dedicated A anchor at the very beginning of the round means they just pedal to the metal straight towards that position. That's going to give them a flawless 6 rounds in a row. One more round, it's been a flawless T side, and they'll be winning out on their opponent's map pick. And it started off very well. Good damage onto 11. Lulu, though, creeping down towards ramp. The flash aids her in her journey, and that's a massive scout to be taking early on.
I mean, getting Selix off the board is massive. As we just kind of said, you know, she's been such a strong key piece. But Juliana's been given the space to walk all the way up mid through Red Room completely for free. Now she's in peak spawn. And realistically, they will have no idea. The timing on that has been absolutely perfect. No one's checking for her. Valulu is instantly taken out. And that's going to be the signal that now the Killers can start making their way in towards the site. Full control has been taken. Haven't been able to take out Dynasty just yet, but they've cordoned her off with a good little bit of util, and bomb has been planted. Dynasty hanging on for dear life, and Bruna, the stand-in, will get 2, shutting down that flank entirely. And what looked like a winnable round for Peak FE slowly slips between their fingers. Carrot a banana, 20 HP and 3 kills to get, and it cannot be done. Bruna finishes it out with her 3rd kill of the round, and that's going to be that first map going, well, in favor of the Killers, who looked, it was a little concerning after that first pistol, and then after the first 7 rounds when we saw that resurgence from Peak FE, but on that second half, they
weeks ago, and they lost to Panelina, which actually had, it was actually a mix, I guess, of Babs, Poppins, Younger, Goddess, and Jossie.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a very good result to be getting them to overtime. And 11, she popped off. Same with Cara de Banana. So if those two can continue their form going into this map, then Peak, especially on their city side, could be having a statement. But now the pistol round commences. And so far, it's been all the T-side pistol rounds.
Let's see if that trend does continue here. Got that little bit of a pincer going on. Ooh, nice opening shot there from Juliana. Very clean. Crispy even. I'll give them a little bit of a numbers advantage here. Some smokes to allow them to rotate in. And that's the A bomb side. It's open. It's available. They've made it in. They've run over Peak FE. And it looks like the T-side pistol trend will continue.
Yeah, which is a little bit more worrying when we look at a map like Nuke, where a good early T side can be so beneficial and pretty much actually could just be the formula for a winning game. But yeah, this is a fairly flawless affair. They lose their first member in the 5 versus 2 post plant. So for thekillaz, the odds were already in their favor and now very much heightened. And finally, I might be getting a prediction right. Finally.
Oh, it had to happen sometime.
I thought I'd stop trolling and actually pick the team that I thought was going to win instead of trying to be a contrarian. I mean,
Yeah,
look at my past predictions. Like it's very evident that I wasn't going for the easy way out. I was going for the if I'm correct, I'm really smart pick.
All right, Freddie. Well, for those of you that may be wondering, over on the community stream, Insanity FE versus Capybaras, the first map has gone 13-8 in favor of Insanity FE. So Capybaras, one last chance to try to give themselves a little bit of an extra lifeline here. That is a great opener from Dynasty. A little bit of a miss from Juliana. And look at this deep aggression from Kara as well. Nope, caught out.
Yeah, there's definitely actually a world where Salix is caught off guard there. And even though there was this one really nice kill at the start for Dynasty, she's only rewarded with a Mac 10 for her troubles. And if they try rotate down the vent, I think Hero was holding. And now there's only one defender on this B bomb site. It's 11 with a P2K. Spotted out. Everyone's coming from secret, so 11 staying alive here is actually really beneficial because it aids these players just rotating in, and it will allow them to get another kill, which is very, very handy for Lulu. Now, I thought they would have heard her, but even they don't. Hera's still able to pick up the kill, so an anti-eco that definitely had the realms of being scary doesn't.
There's that confidence come through. But we did see this on Ancient as well. First 2 rounds went in favor of Peak FE, and then there were guns in hand. And things kind of went awry. Now we've got 2 rounds for the Killers. Guns in hand for Peak. Can they turn this around? Killers, of course, had to do a little bit of a reinvest into this, so they are looking robust in this round. They're not going to be feeling uncomfortable whatsoever. Instantly run out into a shot from Lulu, but it will get traded. However, just that one shot does not do enough. Dear Lord, the Killers just absolutely overrun that site. Peak FE cannot even get a foot in the door.
Yeah, I mean, it was great entry pathing by Hera. Like, that is literally the best entry pathing you can ever get. And then on top of that as well, Salix was there to clean up Lulu, who I thought was going to be a little bit scary because she was somewhat avoiding Hera. But ultimately, that opening kill from Lulu is the only kill they're going to be getting. That's a really devastating round for the Killers to be winning so dominantly. And it's also the perfect call to have on your first gun round, because if you go towards that A bomb site very early on, very fast, realistically, there's not much utility that PKF are going to have unless they buy SMGs. So you basically just had a free route in. Exactly what happens. They do double their kills in this round. 11 does catch off a final player trying to save and will be actually her first kill, and it will allow her to save an AK, but it's silver linings amongst the raid cloud.
All right, Peak. Trouble is a brewing. Limited cash to spend here. 1 AK saved from before. And 11, we said it before, she kind of started to come into her own towards the second half of Ancient. So if she can kind of stay on that form here, maybe she can get a couple of kills and keep this at least... Yeah, you know, keep this somewhat competitive where possible. Dynasty's not going to be the one to get the opener, though. It's going to be Fly, and she'll follow it up, and that's the rifle taken away. Yeah,
that's round over. If there ever was contestability in this 4th round, it was going to be that AK from 11, and we picked her as our Kadir player to watch because of her performance this season. It's been the only redeeming feature for Peak, and also her performances in previous seasons, even though her teams have not done very well. But unfortunately, in this series, it hasn't. Apart from, I think, 2 rounds in Ancient, there wasn't too much to write home about. So the Killers looking to go flawless. And while we do have this moment, I've got some interesting fun facts for you.
Okay.
So Over on the side of Peak FE, Valulu and Lulu were actually a part of the first ever non-full Brazilian team. So it was comprised of mostly Argentines and Uruguay. It was the first team that wasn't a core of Brazilian players in ESL Impact. They played in Season 7 with LRV Esports Female. So I think that's quite cool. Like we were talking about Even Stevens and breaking the mold. Well, they broke the mold in ESL Impact.
That is quite cool. There you go. That's Freddie and Sam building the storylines.
For Lulu as well, continuing with her non-Brazilian waves. She played for Argentina in the ISF Women's World Championship in 2022, where they came second to losing to Navi Javelins. It was Team
wow.
Poland, but Navi Javelins in Bali. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool. Like they've got, even though they might be losing, they still got some cool notoriety.
Yeah. I mean, this has nothing to do with anything, but I'm pretty sure that South Africa won the Women's World Cup.
They won. They won the. Was it African or was it North African? It was, I guess, African. It was the ISF qualifier for the finals this year. It was over in Morocco. Oh no, Egypt. It was in Egypt a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they won, which is pretty cool. I think they had a UK guy as their coach, if I'm not mistaken. He's coached a few ESL Impact teams before in Europe.
There you go. All right, Peak. Kara's got the AWP in hand. Pretty standard positioning from her, unfortunately. Not going to be too many opportunities to have that thing, so she's going to have to reposition. She's got a good sight line, but with all of those smokes in the way, not going to be able to find the opening that she wants just yet. Killer's baiting out quite a lot of this early use. Oopsie. Oh my god. What? No, surely not.
The jump bind.
Are you still on that?
It's been a couple weeks. We should have learned by now. Oh no, Juliana, the fumble.
I'm genuinely more concerned about the absolute meat blender as they walk through that door. Oh, it's unfortunate.
Ooh. That was a hard watch. That would have been a great round as well. Flashbang to completely blind that player towards Hats, because that flashbang that they would have thrown blinds. It kind of lands. It lands on the two vents on the side, on the left side, and it lands just above default, give or take. So it would have completely blinded. I think it was Valulu who was just towards Hut by Hats. So she would have been completely blinded, but unfortunately she wasn't. Had full vision, and there was a smoke down. And even though Juliana had the bomb, there was nowhere she really could have gone. So Peak, that's a pretty easy first round to be picking up.
I mean, they're going to be, breathing an absolute sigh of relief in that one. They're also going to be wondering what just happened. Because obviously they don't know. We know they don't know. They might have an inkling, but I mean, they'll take it, right? Win's a win. Absolutely love that. So this is the potential for that momentum to start coming through. Now, Killers obviously still have quite a bit of cash available. Oh, no. Oh, why are we doing it to him like that? Still quite a bit of cash, so no huge constraints there, no big concerns in terms of that. But we're getting closer to a knife's edge, and obviously we talk about those rounds that can really break your mental. That really feels like one of those rounds. But I feel like the Killers have felt pretty confident coming into this. It was a small slip up. They're still at a 3-round lead. Shouldn't be feeling it too badly.
Yeah, this is a nice change up as well. They've gone for a heavy outside presence in the first or the second round, so against the eco, but it's nice to them actually against the rifles. This is bold from 11. This is very bold, and unfortunately, fortune does not favor the brave in this one, as our star player has been dropped very early on. Rotations attempted down the vent. That's equally quite brazen, as the Killers have swarmed now this B bomb site, and this is a near impossible rotation, especially with Hera, who was on T roof, is now going to be flanking those players on ramp, as Peak FE set up a 4-player retake on that very position.
Part of me feels like it's actually brave to go for this at this point.
Save. Cool the save.
Honestly, like, just keep your weapons, but no. Not to be. Oh, they're just slowly
What's going
chipping away
on?
the damage with all of the ordinances, the little bit of utility. Now they're going to try to back out, and Hera is waiting, arms wide open. The first kill to come through. Will she get traded? Yes, she does get traded, so the AWP should be recoverable. Should be.
Where's the AWP? Where's the
Okay,
AWP now?
they ran over it.
Where's the AWP? Oh, and Dynasty
Oh
dies.
no, Dynasty.
So technically, Hera got 2 kills.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, that's unfortunate, man. It's weird to me. So they clearly just ran straight over the AWP. They were like, "There's no time to pick it up. Just keep running." I guess. So that's unfortunate. And the reinvest is going to have to be. That could have been a 4-person save, and it ended up being only 2.
Really does put an asterisk over that round for Peak FE. I think sometimes what kind of separates a good and great team is the ability to call saves in those type of positions. And they were attempting to go for that retake a little bit too longer than I would have anticipated or liked. But they still have a reinvestment, even with 2 players surviving, but it might not matter as once again, 11 is the first player to fall outside.
11's having a rough start to this map. Very similar to what we saw on the previous. But to be fair, PKFE are kind of struggling across the board here. Killers have really kind of stamped their claim on this map so far, and it's T side. This needed to be the half where Peak pulled up their socks and made some magic happen. The Killers are just so unreadable in so many of these rounds. You know, sometimes they'll take the aggressive angle. Sometimes they take a much slower angle. They're swapping up their approaches, so they're not 100% telegraphed. And for Peak, their ability to read into what's happening and adapt has not been where it needs to be. But Valulu will get one on site now. She has to somehow play for her life and cannot make it happen. Carrot and Banana, 1v4. We've seen her in these places before, but Juliana sneaking up behind her will shut her out. And it's yet another round for the Killers.
I was going to say that I really wanted to see Juliana to get the knife kill there. But while I was skimming through those demos that they were playing on Ancient, there was a round against Furia where it was, I'm not sure if this was on broadcast or whatever, but ooh, wow, she is not happy. Oh, wow. Okay, Kara de Banana is... Oof. We saw her being very passionate on Ancient in a positive way. Now we're seeing her being very passionate in a... Well, it still could be a positive way because maybe her teammates need to hear it, but this is definitely not a good sign if you're 7 rounds in and your AWPer, who we were phrasing up to be a superstar on this map, is like that. But the point I was trying to make was it was a 4 versus 2 and Peak went for a knife kill against Furia and lost the round.
I'll be honest, as a coach, when I start counting things off of my fingers, you know people are in trouble. So
I think it's more than... I think it even goes further than being in trouble. I think that's when you know that's never a good sign for the mental of a team.
Oh, Kara.
That's where's the lobby crunch? Why? This seemed a little bit dicey.
Yeah. The mental is definitely not where it needs to be. Lulu with 1. Oh, Lulu's not able to follow it through. There's the lobby crunch. Not the one we were expecting. You know, it's Mom, can we get lobby crunch? We got lobby crunch at home. That's
I can't imagine she's happy anymore. That is I'm calling it now, game over.
It's gonna take something special to recover from that.
Also, Kara's the AWPer and buying down to 1.2k. Like, I know Lulu can drop for next round, but it's not a great
But not
sign.
only buying down to 1.2k, but buying an MP9 and just running out dry into
definitely some
no
comm
man's
issues
land.
there. Definitely some. There was 2 players that went for a lobby crunch. Neither of them even played together. Like, a hard player should not be taking first contact. It should be ramp player. And on top of that, you have 2 more players on the bomb site just waiting. I don't know, Chief. That's a hard watch.
Okay, well, they got money next round. So, you know, hopefully we see some fixes. Because, like, so when they've just taken the timeout and she's just kind of laid into them a little bit. And on a low buy, pots and pans type vibe, there's very little that you're really going to get done. Smile. So now we have actual weapons. And no, the drop, well, an AWP drop isn't going to happen, but we will spread those funds as thin as we can to make sure that everybody's got rifles available. Well, this needs to be absolute money. Great smoke there to force Selex off. We're starting off the round on a good foot.
No one's died yet. This is a positive. 11 hasn't died outside yet. These are things we love to see. But with outside smokes, there's actually no information for PKFE, so that's why we see 11 drop down towards Secret, because the killers have utilized these outside smokes many times, but instead, it's going to be this play towards the A-bomb site. They've pulled one player off already. The Lulu tries to drop a smoke, which he has performed a round previously towards Mustang. That's the first. That's the second. There's still 3 more players here. The trade will come in, and the killers, they capitulate while trying to entry onto this A-bomb site.
Oh, okay. It's kept a lot closer than they would have liked, but finally a round in their back pocket. They play that so much better. No more crazy aggression. They play a little bit further back. They play really good positioning as well. I love that rafters spot. It's one of my favorite spots. It's somewhat telegraphed, but it's not necessarily something you're going to see every single round, so you're not necessarily going to be checking it every single round. So the fact that she can stay up there, get those 2 kills, Lulu's able to cover it up with 2 kills of her own, and finally we see Peak looking like what we were hoping to see coming into this series. So it's a good start here to potentially pull things back. We got 3 rounds left for them to try to make this that little bit more competitive.
Yeah, I mean, 5 is a necessity. And 11, she's been very aggro outside. Oh no, they were holding for her. They were holding for her. But I think Flystyle pulls out utility as soon as she swings. So 11, the first kill, fair enough. The second kill, never should have been allowed that. And also, what's really interesting is that Dynasty has taken up the mantle that she was in. So Dynasty has just re-cleared the whole of outside. This is so much information for Peak. But unfortunately, they've got no one towards ramp.
Ramp might be free pickings, but there is a little bit of presence already down towards B. Kara's been set up a little bit, but the AWP is there, and if Kara steps up in the way that we know she can... Oh, shot not connecting. And now she's going to be instantly smoked off. She's going to have to reposition, and that gives the killers the opportunity to... No, okay, I thought they might actually just pull back, but they are being wrapped around on, and somehow Valulu holds down the site perfectly, and Valulu and Lulu. It's just not gonna work, man. My mouth did not want to work for that one, but yes.
Valulu and Lulu.
Valulu and Lulu have been playing off of each other very well these last couple of rounds. A good little pincer there, and they will secure themselves 1 more on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very gambly rotation, especially in a 4 vs 3. Like, if the killers had just gone heaven there, that's round over. That's round 1 for the T side. But Peak, they rotate everybody down, and this A rush has never really worked outside that first gun round. Are they really trying to do it again? Are they trying to just beat a dead horse? Yes. Why is the bomb gone out after it seemed like they had cancelled? The bomb's now down in no man's land, but Juliana, has she not been heard? She's got great space outside, but guys, the bomb's down on A. Why are we fighting towards ramp? Why are we not trying to fight towards A and utilize Juliana towards heaven? Finally, Juliana will actually get in position, but Selex needs to get out, and she's not going to be able to, so it all falls down to the women on your screen.
Another round that may be a little bit closer than they would have liked. Oh, she has completely threaded the needle.
That's 2.
First player spotted. Second, knows where the bomb is, so she can get the first kill. Drops down. Her position is obviously now 100% known. Smoke to cover her. And she will go for the tap. Waits to see if she swung. The first player caught with util out. Slips down the vent. Runs all the way down towards this B site. She may yet get a plant. She may yet clutch out this round for the killers. It all comes down to Valulu to try to shut it out. Opens the door. The squeak is heard. Playing around the silo. And yes, Juliana will clutch out what seemed to be an unclutchable round.
That was a 5 versus 3 in favor of the CT side. Everything was going in their way, but it's ice cold from Juliana. She made that round contestable from the beginning because of her positioning, and then plays, I'm not going to lie, a perfect 1 versus 3. She catches them off with the bomb tap. She utilizes that position I was talking about in heaven, and she's able to get a free kill, and then plays that final 1 versus 1 magically. That is such a needed round for the Killers because it just cements their dominance in this half. The 11, she's gone for this play outside so many times, and unfortunately, it's just not going to work this time.
Last round in the half here, and Peak already at a huge disadvantage. They've done a little bit of chip damage here, so once again, a little bit of follow-up is all they really need to turn this into a winnable situation. The Killers not willing to commit just yet. They've made their way back up secret. They've thrown a bit of util down towards B. They've pulled all of the rotations. The A site is almost free and clear. Kara will get that first kill, though. If she can follow it up with the second, things start to look doable. It's going to be Dynasty to get one more. But again, this site was left so open. So that bomb is going to get planted for free. Lulu's in a good position to create a bit of a pincer here, though. And they have to wait for those rotations to come in. So the call from Killers has been perfect. And really good util to really disallow Lulu, disallow anyone from peeking through. They just keep lobbing those ordinances out into the world. Finally, PKFE have a chance here to swing out. The first few shots to connect. Caught with util out, but there is a trade, and it's Selix holding down the line. Now, Hera, 1 versus 2, has to be an absolute hero. There is a kit on board. They're going for the stick. The swing does nothing, and Hera clutches it out. A 9-3 half in favor of the Killers.
Well, it's looking a bit peak for Peak. They have only been able to scramble 3 rounds in total on their CT side. They lost 2 back-to-back clutches at the end. It's not looking too great for them. And maybe we keep on that theme of T-side pistol round wins, and maybe they have an opening into this second map.
It's going to take some serious heroics here. Ooh!
It's not a good start.
We were still even Stevens coming into this. But with 11 going down so early on, it looks like this T-side pistol is not going to go in favor of Peak FE.
Are you sure?
Oh, that is very labored. Okay, let me hold my tongue.
No.
As it looks like there could be a little bit of a comeback. No, Bruna around the outside. The dualies, 2 guns are indeed better than 1. A 3K for her. And finally, Nuke, you can update those stats. We are no longer even Stevens.
Yeah, you know what? Like we saw the storyline and we were like, oh, okay, that's like. It was an interesting storyline, but it's been very even accentuated here because that breaking the molds, the not even Stevens actually does just show that this was a big part of why the Killers are able to win out this series. And you can also see there a big duality of the teams. Bruna, she's cheesing. She's been called up kind of like last minute maybe, and she gets a nice little 3K there, cheesing. She's smiling on the camera, and that's exactly what we love to see. A full eco now by Peak. That's going to mean in the next round of the gun round, as soon as they lose 1 on the guns, that's it. That's map point, series point given to the Killers. And now it's just on this eco. Are we going to get anything?
Well, Juliana's certainly going to get something.
Peek 'em.
Oh, man.
More time. More peaks.
They're just chasing her down. She's got time to reload and get a second. That's a little outrageous. A rifle recovered. What can they get done with it? The dualies will continue to sing out. And let's let that MP9 farm up a bit of extra cash. Not that it's really all that needed. It's another round for the Killers and Peak. Well, this looks like the beginning of the end.
Every time we say the Killers, I'm always thinking, you know the band, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Brightside.
Yes.
Like I'm kind of always thinking, like that's in my head. I wonder if they can do a good rendition of
Is
Mr.
it in your
Brightside.
head like Rusty?
In your head?
Like
that
Rusty,
is.
yeah. Yes.
No, she went to drop the smoke. She went to drop the smoke and she threw it. And now they can't do outside smokes because firstly they don't have the smokes, and secondly they have no vision of how to do them. Oh, you're joking me. This is spiraling into oblivion for Peak.
It's just all just completely out of their control. The smoke spams have been great. Selex, you've been so fantastic, but now it's going to be Kara. Who's finally going to come up on top of that duel.
They're winning the round? They won the round.
You know what? We kind of spoke about it. This is a team that's... No, I don't know.
I don't
this
know.
Is weird.
You know what? Do you know the meme of like never let your opponents know your next move?
if
That's
they don't,
Peak right
if we
now.
don't know what we're doing, they don't know what we're doing.
Exactly. It was
True.
definitely just a legitimate, just like, let's just go A. Let's just run in A. You know what? Like, I don't know what to do anymore. Let's just go A. That's exactly what happens. Kara de Banana, she's had quite a slow game. I think it's fair to say. So that's a really big result for her. Getting those nice 3 kills. Oh, saving players is really important here. Saving the AWP. Oh, there's so much damage to the bomb. AWP can be collected. Hera, you know what? Like, on the face of it, it's sure Peak won the round, but for what? What rewards can they reap?
Hera or Hero? Because no, she doesn't manage to win out the round, but all of that extra damage, taking those guns away... Oh, it's heartbreak now for Peak. But of course, for Killers, not too much cash still in pocket. Hera's actually going to hold on to the AWP.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Yeah, like, I saved it. It's but finders keepers. All right, that's the rule.
Losers sweepers. 9.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite funny. I mean, Hera, like, she was one of the best players in the region back in, like, 2022, 2021. So it's cool to see her back on her roster and doing well, obviously, in that round. And 16-5, I don't know her as much on Norpa, but she's baited in Celix perfectly. Celix is like, you're missing all the AWP shots. Give it back to me. But you know what? I'll just get it done with the Jewel Brothers. They're just swinging. They're lobby crunching. Everything's falling apart for Peak. This is a dismantle. It's abhorrent. Nothing's going their way. Dynasty does stem the bleeding momentarily, but now she's been left all by herself. They are just gifting her those kills, so it is actually a 1 versus 2, which has the bomb in her bag. She has a lot of time to work with. Flystyle's also on 32 HP. There's a world where this is still a winnable affair.
It's got to be pixel perfect, though, because normally, you know, being so split up is a bad thing, but it means that no matter where she goes, she's going to get spotted out in some way or another unless she can slip through down the vent. And there it is, and no one sees it. And she's super quiet. They are going to figure it out very quickly as they now pincer their way in towards the A site and go, hang on, where's she gone?
They will. I think they're just holding and waiting for a push.
Surely not.
The first sound cue, the first sound cue is going to be this door being open. So as soon as now that's heard, you can see it's a game of cat and mouse. They are running down the vent, and Dynasty's actually planted the bomb, and now it's going to go towards double. She has all the sound information. What does she do with it?
First sound is heard. This reposition is fantastic. She's completely wrapped around them, but time...
They closed door.
Not really on her side, and yes, they did close the door. She can spam through. She knows where she planted. They're not on it. She opens the door, and she's instantly taken out. So many decisions that needed to be made in a complete split-second moment. And unfortunately, the killers make all the right moves there. It felt like Dynasty really had an opportunity, but it slips away.
Yeah, realistically, she does the best with what she's been dealt there, and I think from where the bomb is planted, it's a readable affair, but still a great read from the killers, and they just play that complete together. I like how they don't just disperse together. Like they go towards A, they wait for a sound cue, and they react off that. This is map and series point to be their first series win in this season of ESL Impact, and that's a fantastic start. Or through the smoke, Juliana sails past 11 like ships in the night, and she's going to fall because of that. Celix dies outside with the AWP, so as soon as they did have that lovely opener, it actually is all falling apart.
There's a world. Unsure if it's going to be this one. They're starting to move towards ramp. That smoke's kind of slowed them down, though. A little bit weary to push that. But the killers, they've read into this so perfectly. The first one swings, instantly taken out. Bruna to follow it up. Bomb is lost. And 11 is the last one standing. And she has to make the play of her life here if she wants one more chance to keep this round going. The first step is getting to that bomb. And to do that, she's going to have to get past Flystyle here. Spots her out. A couple of pot shots taken. Unfortunately, kill not confirmed. Information gone. The rest of the players are able to rotate over if necessary. So she's going to take a little bit of a wider angle here. Try to spot out Flystyle, who she knows is there. But she's walking into a potential meat blender here. Got her covered from every possible angle. Spots the first, gets the kill. Second to follow. 1 versus 1 with just 5 HP. It has to be perfect. Hera ducking and diving, playing it perfectly. And 11 will not be given the opportunity to get one more round. That's going to be the killers winning out on their map pick and in a dominant fashion.
That's very brutal for not only 11 in that round, but Dynasty. Like, they both were in clutch positions that legitimately were